So you just purchased a computer and you realize that the storage that it came with stock isn't enough. So you want to upgrade it to a bigger storage, a bigger NVMe, bigger SSD. Well, now you have to install the operating system again. Now you have options here. You can go ahead and clone your old SSD onto the new SSD if you have the software for it, like Acronis, for example. But if you don't, then we're gonna have to do a brand new fresh install of Windows onto the new drive. I'm gonna take you through those steps on how to get the media creation tool and how to install it. Let's start with what we need for this. First, you're gonna need at least a 16 gig USB thumb drive. 3.0 is recommended. You're also gonna need a separate computer or the computer that you are upgrading but you haven't upgraded yet, so we can get onto the browser and go to Microsoft.com and get the media creation tool. So let's jump onto a computer and I'll show you the next steps.
All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to plug in our thumb drive onto our computer. Make sure it shows up. There it is. I already have Windows installed on this one, but I'm still going to take you through the process. We're going to go to Google. 11 download. Make sure it's the Microsoft website. Click on that. And then here you have a few options. You can either begin the download to install it onto this computer, or we can go ahead and create a Windows 11 installation media. So we're going to go ahead and download the media creation tool. It's going to be down here. We're going to click on it. It's going to prompt us if we want to open it. And this window will pop up. It's going to ask you if you want to accept the terms of the use of this software. So we're going to go ahead and click accept. And it's going to try to get everything ready for you so you can start creating your media creation tool. At this point, it's going to ask you what version of Windows you want. It just gives you Windows 11. It actually has all of the versions on there, whether it's Home, Pro, Enterprise, and everything. I usually just use recommended option for this PC. We're going to click on next. We're going to go ahead and select USB flash drive. That is our 8 gig. It needs to be at least 8 gig, but I always recommend 16 because future-proofing it. Later on, the operating system may be bigger. So let's go ahead and select USB flash drive. Click next. Make sure that we select the correct USB flash drive. I noticed one of my drives showed up on here as a USB flash drive, but it's not. We're going to make sure we select the actual thumb drive. Click next. And here it's actually going to start downloading the operating system onto your thumb drive for you, so then you can use it as an installer. Okay, so after about 3 minutes, it's finally done. Your USB flash drive is ready. We're going to go ahead and click on finish, and it's going to take a few seconds or maybe a minute depending on your computer to clean up your install. All right, so now we are going to take that thumb drive and we're going to go ahead and plug it into the computer we are installing the new operating system to.
All right, everybody, I'm going to show you here in real time. We're going to go ahead and plug in the thumb drive. We're going to turn on our computer. Depending on your computer, to boot, it should automatically boot into the thumb drive if you have nothing on the drive. But if in case you do have something on the new drive, you can press F12. For most laptops, you can press F9 for others, like HP. For this one, for example, this is a generic brand laptop that I'm actually testing. The boot key is F7. We're gonna go ahead and select our thumb drive and let it boot into it. All right, here's the welcome window. Yes, Windows. We're gonna click on next. It's gonna ask you United States or what kind of format that you want. Click next, go ahead and install now. If you don't have a key for your product, just click on I don't have a product key. For this one, for example, we had to install a physical Windows 10 key, but with the Windows 10 key, we can actually activate Windows 11. So we're gonna hit I don't have a product key, or for your case, it might not even ask you that. But this is what I was talking about before. The install actually has all versions of Windows 11, and it's gonna be the exact same thing for the Windows 10. You just have to select what version of Windows you have. For example, this one we have Windows 11. We have Windows 10 Home / Windows 11 Home. So we're going to click on Windows 11 Home, click Next. It's going to ask you to agree to the terms of service as always. Click Next. And we go to Custom Install. This is where we see our drive. Make sure it shows up there. If your drive has partitions on it. Let's say it's a used drive that you're using, but it's just a bigger space. You can click on every partition and click delete. And then you'll end up with one of these here just by itself on allocated space. Select your drive and then click next. Now the installation has begun. All right, so your computer is going to restart when it finishes. If it goes right back to this window, make sure you unplug your thumb drive. Then click on the X here and it'll restart again and it'll actually go into the drive now. All right, there you go. We have a brand new fresh install of Windows 11 onto this laptop. Now we're gonna go ahead and go through the process, set up your country, set up your language, set up your account. We're gonna skip through that and go straight into the desktop because we still are not done. All right, we made it through the setup. The first thing that I want you to do after you get to this point is you are going to click on settings. We're going all the way down to Windows Update and we're gonna click on check for updates. You see the computer's already installing some of the drivers on its own, but we're gonna go ahead and check for updates because with a fresh install, it does not carry the drivers needed for most laptops. As you can see here, it's missing a lot of drivers on Device Manager. So you need to run Windows updates to see if Windows Updater can actually find the drivers for you. So most of the time, Windows Updater can find all the drivers that you need for your computer, but always keep in mind that for like this one, for example, it has an NVIDIA RTX 2070 in it, so I will probably have to go to the NVIDIA website to get the drivers for that. There's also sometimes computers that need separate chipset drivers. For that, you're gonna have to go to the manufacturer website to download the drivers specifically for your system. So always keep that in mind when doing a fresh install. Now, the benefits of cloning a stock drive to a new drive is all the drivers and everything carry on over to that, but of course you need a software for that. That could be in a separate video. But for a fresh install, you do not have any drivers. The computer will install any generic driver that makes sense to it until you run Windows Update, or if you cannot find all the drivers from Windows Update, you're going to have to go to the manufacturer website and look for them under software download and get everything in there. Okay, everybody, well, that is the video. I hope this kind of showed you and clarified some things for you on installing a brand new Windows operating system onto your system after you upgrade your NVMe or SSD or whatever you're doing. Hopefully this helped you out, at least kind of give you an idea of, and then kind of give you an idea to take you further into the progress. So until next time, take care of yourself and take care of others. I'll see you on the next video.